Joshua Dobbs has been the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, and there is some breaking news coming out of Arizona. The Arizona Cardinals are planning to open the practice window for quarterback Kyler Murray today, the first step in a slow process to ramp him up. Coach Jonathan Gannon said Murray and the team will be smart with his return from an ACL tear, but being on the practice field is a good step. That is reported by Ian Rappaport, who is best friends with the owner of the Arizona Cardinals,
right,
as we do know.
Yep.
We know a lot about that rap sheet.
No too much.
He's now the host of a daily show at the exact same time of our show.
Going on right now.
So you can watch that right now on NFL Plus. But he's breaking the news that Kyler's back in there. Now, to get a little bit more information on what that means, there's a practice window that just opened up. What is this practice window, and what does this mean exactly?
So a player who returns to practice after missing at least 6 weeks with a major injury may practice for up to 21 days. If at the conclusion of the 21st day the player has not been added to the 53-man roster, he cannot return to the 53-man roster for the rest of the season. Goes back to the IR for the whole season.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Kyler Murray will be practicing today.
Wow.
So that is a decision that he is telling the world that he's back on the practice field, not just cleared to practice, not just opening a window. I'll be back on the field. So I'm walking on the sideline. Looked good. There was conversations on this program by Michael Lombardi before the season started that the Arizona Cardinals might not want to bring Kyler back this year, because if he does come back and gets injured, that automatically locks in like a $25 million guarantee that is in the injury guarantee of his contract. So, with all this being said, with how we've seen the Cardinals play, a lot of fight. Hey, a lot of fight from that Cardinals team. Really? I think Buda's coming back soon as well. With Kyler being inserted into that lineup, are the Cardinals poised to make some noise in this first year of Gannon's run, AJ Hawk?
I mean, I think so when's the earliest Kyler could get back on the field in a game?
Well,
next 3 weeks.
I think
this week, within the next 3 weeks. Any time within the next 3 weeks, or does he have to wait till the end?
No.
So I think they have to make the decision on what's going to happen this season within this 21-day window. Right. So, like, you have a 21-day period to be like, how is he? Probably a week out, 2 weeks out. By the end of the 21 days, if it's still not good, I think they have to designate him to be done for the season. Now, I think he can return any time in there.
Yep.
If Kyler is the weapon that we all dream that Kyler could be, and if this is the healthiest Kyler we've seen, and I think he's even reported a couple different times or said a couple times that having the game taken away from him has changed his perspective, which might be the maturity that everybody is hoping from Kyler Murray. What are your thoughts on this, and how do you think this plays out for the Cardinals?
Yeah, I hope that's the thing. New perspective, new start too. You know, you got a new regime in there, and this team, you turn on the tape, they're competitive, they're physical every week, and now you get your best player on offense with Kyler back, and your best player on defense if Buda comes back as well. So that's a joke for both sides of the ball. Definitely think they'll continue to compete. And Kyler, I mean, let's not forget, you turn on that tape, it's plays that he makes that very, very few people can make that position. Super, super talented. For him to be 5'10", go number 1 overall pick, drafted first round in NFL, MLB, like that doesn't happen.
Top 10 in both NFL
so,
and
like,
MLB.
He's rare when it comes to his skill set. It's just about everything else that we always talk about when being the face of a franchise, being a quarterback, and if he can improve in those things, you know, this Cardinals team can compete for sure. Down the line, I don't think this year they'll make real noise, but I think.
Well, and that's why, like, is it even worth it? I mean, I obviously, like, he is the face of the franchise, and if he has, you know, grown and matured quite a bit, you probably want him around like a young team, but. You look at that division right now with how the Rams are kind of better than everyone thought they were going to be, and obviously the Niners are a juggernaut. Like, is it even worth it bringing him back if they're not going to be in any type of situation to compete for the playoffs?
I think Kyler wants to play football. Now, granted, if they were thinking about moving
playing that system too, that Gannon system, I think he wants to get in.
If they were thinking about moving on from Kyler, it's like, don't risk a $24 million activation if he's to get hurt. But I think them putting him back on the practice field is saying everything they said during the interview process for the new coach. New coach has to be in on Kyler. We decided to pay Kyler. Kyler is the pivotal piece of this entire thing. New coach, new GM, you're building around him. I assume they're just going to want to see their guy back out there. But nobody's expecting them to do anything this year in the long run. I assume even their fans. But it would be nice. You know, this guy got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it for him to get out there and play. Like you mentioned, for him, of course, he wants to play, and for the team, you know, for the organization to see your guy like, oh yeah, he could sit out, but nah, he's back here playing, even though, you know, make him at weight 8 and we're not in it, but he's still playing hard. So I think it's worth it for sure.
Yeah, and just like the rust factor, like not Russ Wilson, rust with a T. Like you don't want to start next season off with like Kyler's kind of got to get back into his groove. Like if he plays those last few weeks, but with that 21-day window, can Kyler be the third quarterback on the roster spot, even though they wouldn't put him in? So it could be longer than 21 days. They could kind of get around that.
53, so I don't know.
Oh, like a healthy scratch?
Well, because know how they have the third roster spot now on teams. Yeah, like and you can only play QB if you're that third roster spot.
I would assume they have to make some designation in the next 21 days. Yeah. I would assume there's no.
And is that true? If that's not active roster.
Yeah, I would assume there's some sort of something they have to make a designation for him to activate to be a guy in the next 21 days. He says he's practicing today. We hope you do well.
Yep, good luck.
Hope you have a good day out there, Kyler.